Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, you guys are already seeing how this segment's going.
Yes.
This is when we let Malachi run a segment by
Marshall Mathers, okay?
Oh, I was talking about this. You know my top 5 rappers?
Yeah.
So it's Eminem, B Rabbit, Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, and the white guy from D12. So I don't know if you agree with that. Just me though.
All right. So so he dropped the Death of Slim Shady.
Coup de grace.
And so I've listened to it. Nakash listened to it as well. And
Reaction up on the channel, by the way, for me. If you almost check that out.
My honest thoughts is I love that album. Everything about that album, like honestly, it's like the best album of the year. The best album of the past 5 years.
You know what? There's something to be said about that though. Like it being the best album in the past, maybe even 10 years.
Maybe even 20.
Maybe even 30.
Like
the best album ever.
Honestly, like he came back with those real raps. You know,
the lyrics were so good, and like low key, bro. Like I kind of agree with everything he was saying.
Yeah, everything on that album was like just a musical masterpiece.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like his content matter was so prevalent in today's world, and it really had me relating to it.
Yeah,
like I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, Eminem is like if I was a rapper, this is what I would do.
Yeah, and you know, he is just everything. Let's say Trump. Everything Eminem put on that album just made me just a better person as well.
I think when you really take a minute to like study the lyrics and everything that was said, you kind of get like a new perspective on life. Like that's how important it is. You know that meme where it's like the people walking through like the book and like coming out like a whole new person? Yeah. That was that album.
After I listened to the album, I was just a changed man.
I was just a better person at the end of the day. That album fucking sucked, by the way. That shit was ass. Let's be real here. That was some of the worst shit I ever listened to. Eminem it's probably his best album since Recovery. I don't know, Malachi isn't as familiar with his discography as I am. But before we dive into it, let's talk about our histories with Eminem. Just so when we talk about the album, people kind of understand what
I want to do this because it's like, so I realized growing up, I never really like sat back and like really like listened to Eminem. I always knew Eminem was like one of the most respected,
notorious.
And hip hop, right? And and I have a lot of respect for him because of that, right? Mm-hmm. He's worked with so many different artists and whatever, and he's always been at kind of like the top of the game for a while, right? And Eminem, and I respect him. He has classic albums. I never really like fully dove into his discography. I've listened to like albums here and there, but not his full discography, like front to back.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's long.
It is, yeah. I mean, he's been in the game. He's what, 55?
Yeah, he's starting since like late 90s.
Yeah, so he's been in the game for like years now, like decades. Yeah, decades, right? And I listened to this album, and I like my ears were just begging me to turn it off. But I listened to it in full.
Oh, didn't you tell me you were like paralyzed?
Yeah,
it was so bad you stood up and you turned it off. Pretty sure that's what you said.
Yeah, my legs stopped working, but like at some point they were like, "Yo, and I was like, I can't move," and they were like, "I got you."
And they played it, and it was so bad, your legs started working again.
And you know what? So thank you, Em. Thank you for this album. This album cured my paralysis.
It changed your life, like we said.
It changed my life.
Anyway, my issue with Eminem, he's what really got, like, who got you into hip hop? Who's the one artist?
Oh, that's a really good question. What artist got me into hip hop? You know what? It might have been Logic back in 2000, and I want to say 18.
You know what that means? I put Malachi in hip hop. That's what that means. I put you on Logic.
Because the first, that was like the first artist where their discography, like I really
dove into.
It's like with Under Pressure, The Corrupt Your Story, and then you had the
Bobby Tarantino,
and then but even the Young Sinatra mixtape. Right. But Bobby that came like that was in between. Then it came out because you had Bobby Tarantino. I think he has 3 now, right? 4. There's 3. There's 3.
Yeah. But anyway, not to cut you off, but so Logic was his. Yeah. For a lot of people though, it is Eminem. Like if you talk to a lot of people that are into hip hop that are our age or a couple years older, it's Eminem. Because Eminem, growing up, he was the most mainstream, mainstream rapper. Like Kanye was that, but people saw him, I don't know, like more of like an artist than a rapper.
People saw him more, and he kind of was more of an artist because he had this also part that was more of like a producer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and like not even just like rapping, like it wasn't even just that. It was like the curation of his projects as a whole. Right?
Yeah.
And people don't look at Eminem like that. They just
he was just like finding pockets to rap in, different flows.
With Kanye, it's a little different.
Yeah. And he kind of set the trend of having an alter ego, which is like a lot of rappers do that now. Like even Logic has like Young Sinatra or Bobby Tarantino.
Or even Eminem Doom has so many different.
Exactly.
Like he's
Eminem kind of like, I don't know if he was the first to do it, but he really popularized it. Because the Slim Shady alter ego was so crazy because he was just saying like the most outlandish, crazy stuff. And that's kind of what you got on this album to a lesser extent because he can't be as crazy now. I've been listening to, or I was listening to Eminem for years. Then I kind of stopped in like 10th grade because I just realized there was better artists at the time.
Yeah.
Even I like Logic's work more at the time because Eminem had that, oh God,
was it
Revival.
Yeah, Revival.
Oh my God, that album sucked. And then he had
Kamikaze dropped, was that like
2018 or 19, which was better.
Kamikaze wasn't a bad album.
No, it wasn't.
It was decent.
It wasn't ass, but it wasn't great. And then Music to Be Murdered By I didn't like, and then this album I didn't like either. So, you know, if a show or a movie or an artist keeps dropping mid, it's like eventually you're gonna go look for it. That same kind of quality elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened with Eminem for me. But let's talk about, we're not gonna do like an extreme deep dive on the album. We're just gonna give our quick overarching thoughts. So what were your quick overarching thoughts on the album?
My main thing was it felt like the best way I kind of can put it into words is him making an album like for like edgy 20-year-olds, like people that think that they've been canceled in the past, like, oh man, like, people like, oh yeah, I can't really speak my mind because people aren't gonna like what I gotta say.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I felt like who this album was made for. Like he brought up cancel, like bringing up cancel culture in 2024 is crazy. It kind of is. People still don't really understand what it is. No. People use it and like they bring it up when it's like nobody's trying to cancel you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. You have 5 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, but they're getting canceled.
You're getting like nobody knows who you are.
No,
nobody knows who you are. You upload it to YouTube and like you have 1 subscriber.
Hey, bro,
and like and nothing wrong with that.
Chill,
right? But I'm saying nobody's
too.
cancel. Nobody's like, look, nobody's gonna cancel you if you have 1 subscriber.
Here's the thing too, and I agree with what you said. And I think when you're listening to an Eminem album, I feel like people keep listening. They're like, they think he's gonna say something different, but he doesn't.
Oh,
but I'm like, dude, the stuff about people who are transsexual, people who are gay, people who basically aren't hetero, and cancel culture and this, it's like, all right, bro. Like we get it, bro.
My main thing is why is he bringing up transgender people every 5? Like, and he's bringing up,
bro, it's every song, bro. Holy fuck, man.
And he's bringing up like pronouns, and it's like, I don't get what he's trying. I just don't get.
You know that meme of like the Simpsons grandpa, and it's like old man yells at clown.
yeah. That's literally
Eminem, bro. But again, okay. What I'm going to do first? Let's look at some of the small positives. Some of the choruses were cool. Like the guy, I forgot his name, White Gold. He like the
I like some of the hooks. Nothing blew me out the water sonically, but like it was still like you know what I'm saying?
The Eminem's flows are usually on point. Yeah. Like he finds the right flows. Production was kind of ass.
The production, I don't think really like was a shining part of the album, but I also don't think it really like hindered it. It was whatever. Like, I didn't think it blew me out the water.
Yeah, like I said before we started recording, you need more Dr. Dre beats on the album. Like it's just like he had 1 song with Dre. The name of the song leaves me right now, but I think it was one of the best cuts off the album. Like the beat was just so much better.
Yeah.
Features. Jid's
feature was good. Like it's a very good verse, but Jid as an artist has dropped way better verses, and that
it was a cookie cutter Jid verse.
Yeah, it was, but it was good.
Yeah,
cool. But the fact that it's a highlight of this album is kind of concerning when you think about it, because it's like, okay, it was a good verse, but like the fact that it's one of the better verses on the album kind of says a lot.
Yeah,
because it's like Jid's dropped way better verses, right?
No, of course he is. Of course he is. Yeah. No, Hondo, and then I'm just gonna pull the track list here, but I feel like another thing with Eminem too. People go into a lot of people. There's been a lot of discussion about it, of course, because Eminem is controversial even now, and the whole thing was killing off this alter ego of his that was the most epitome of controversy within Eminem's discography. Mm-hmm. And you had like Brand New Dance, which he brought back like his like 03, 04 Eminem voice, like the it's kind of like a higher octave almost. And then you had one of the main things where the album kind of changes its tone is Guilty Conscience 2. Whereas like where Eminem is like, basically like I like song concepts like this. He had another one. The first one was with Dr. Dre, where it's basically like the devil and the angel on your shoulder, and he's Eminem, and he's like arguing with Slim Shady about like what he should do, and then eventually he kills him. But it's like a dream, so maybe he didn't actually kill him. But then what's the point of the album? And it's like I don't know what's going on. Then you kind of get like the change of pace where he's like being a little bit more introspective. Like the song "Temporary" was about him and his daughter, and they played like that was a cool song.
Yeah, no, songs like that are cool. Like I'm
not gonna hate on that. You know what I mean?
I think, yeah,
yeah. And I really liked the song with Jid was very good. That was probably my favorite song on the album. And like Brand New Dance was okay, and certain albums like Somebody Save Me the outro was like whatever. So to be honest,
damn, look at the plays too. Like Eminem still,
bro. Eminem puts up not the same came out on fucking Friday, bro. 5 million.
And look, some of you watching this are probably love Eminem. That's fine. If you like the song, listen to it. I don't give a fuck, man.
No, actually, they should take my word as gospel.
If you love this Eminem album, listen to it. Like my opinion doesn't. Nobody, bro. Who gives a fuck about my opinion?
No one.
I don't even give a fuck about my opinion, to be honest.
You probably should. But here's the thing. Everybody enjoys something, of course. We're not gonna it doesn't really matter. And also, if you are listening to this and you do like the album, explain why. Yeah. Like, we're not here to argue. We're not here to create a hostile environment in the YouTube comments, even though that's what they always are. But you know, I'm curious to hear why. I might not agree with you. You might not agree with me. But I think you can always have healthy discussions if you're a grown ass person. Some people are just children. So
if you like the album, just let us know why. Like that's cool.
You know? And I didn't like it. Nor did he. Did I think it was like the worst album I've ever heard ever? No, I've heard worse.
This worst album,
but it was extremely mediocre. Yeah. And I think with Eminem, you're still hanging on to prime Eminem. It's like that with Kanye West, right? You're hanging on with the prime. You're like, oh my God, like why can't he make an album that he made 15 years ago?
I don't let it go.
Just let it go, bro.
Like it's over. People draw parallels between like hip hop and like professional athletes, and like now it's going like I'm really starting to see it more. Before I never really understood it, but now I'm like really starting to see it more. Like people in their prime really still try to hang on. It's like you're past your prime. At some point you gotta retire. You gotta let it go.
That's why I respect like Andre 3000.
Yeah,
because he like put out crazy work, and then he just was like, I'm good. Or even like 50 Cent stuff. Like he's like, they'll hop on a feature, drop a cool verse, like let them know like, hey, like I'm still here, I'm still involved. But
like even though you get older, you gotta like at some point you gotta adjust it. Music is changing. You gotta adjust. Sports, technology, sports changes. Like music is changing too, but you gotta adjust to the times.
They should imagine Eminem on a Benny X. Eminem on a Benny X beat would be crazy. But no, 100% to add to what you're saying, it's like, yeah, you gotta evolve. But another issue is like fans also don't evolve. They're like, no.
Yes.
The older generation is always better. You know what I mean? We might think that in 20 years.
So, bro, it's like people are still think fucking ball in like the 90s and 80s is better. It's like, bro, like it's changed. The game has changed.
Yeah, the game has changed. Man, you probably liked it better because like that was the prime of your life too. You know what I mean? So it's like you associate better things when you were happy.
Yeah, and it's part of like us too.
I'm sure in 20 years, because like right now is like the best time of our lives, and this is when the NBA was. So like when my life sucks, when you know, like in like 20 years, or like I'm like, Dad, life sucks and everything else around me sucks. So, but back to the Eminem album because we always veer off topic. But overall, like what else? I feel like I don't know if you can speak on this, but like it was just so much about the same thing. And I don't know if you felt like this too, but when I heard Death of Slim Shady, it seems cool. Like it's a cool concept.
Like I said, to bring it up again, it's like I'm not that super familiar with like Eminem as an art, like described as a whole. And like, so like the Death scene doesn't like hearing that does not impact me at all.
Okay,
you,
fair enough.
It's different because of you how familiar you are with his music.
I feel like maybe that's some homework for you.
Yeah, you know what?
Be like Malachi listen to Eminem. This would be like a segment. It'd be cool. And I'll listen to something you put me on.
All right,
yeah, it'd be something I don't know. But just for me, like for something, it's like it's a cool concept. It's hella interesting. The rollout, if you like followed it too, was also kind of cool. And it was Eminem's first like conceptual album in a while. Because he literally tweeted that this is conceptual, please listen to it in order. But like you just rapped about how you don't like certain groups of people. It's like and then I don't understand because even like Eminem vocally hates Trump, but he's also a little bit obviously Republican. But he's also like, I'm not here to talk about his political beliefs, but I don't know, because Eminem's always seen as like the antichrist of hip hop. He was like, smell fuck the camera, but
That's good.
He was always like, Eminem was always seen as a guy who was like the rebel, or like because he was the white guy and he became the most popular rapper. And people who like
So that one meme where it's like hip hop's like a mountain. It's like mostly black but white on the top.
and then people were like, oh, like you were saying, people are like, oh, I'm not like everyone else. I'm different. I walk around the halls with like, my head down like this, listening to Eminem. Like that's his demographic. That's his demographic. You know what I mean? That's his demographic. At the end of the day, like you walk home from like people who walk home sit with their head down with their bags like this. You know what I mean? So, but overall, out of 10, what do you give the album?
I'll give it probably like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I said 4.5.
I'll say 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Yeah.
4.5. So
like there's definitely worse albums.
And there's definitely better ones.
There's definitely better ones. But yeah. So like I said, if you like that M album, let us know in the comments what you liked about it. You know, we're here to like